that.
Danae, the Great Comet is, just to reiterate, you're playing a Russian countess from 70 pages of War and Peace. That's where the show comes from. And I think it's fair to say that for much of theater history, a Russian countess in War and Peace, the sort of reflexive move of people would have been to cast a white actress in this part. However, in recent years, particularly after Hamilton, people, I think, have displayed more imagination about what you can do. This whole concept of what some people call colorblind casting, others other names. And I just wonder for you, though, I'm curious how this now works, because we've seen it this year with Amelie and with a number of shows. Is it somebody with imagination coming and saying, we know Danae is a great actress and we want to go after her for this part? Or is it you saying, even though it doesn't necessarily on paper read as a part that is obvious, I want to show that I can do it? How did this come together?
Well, this is my Broadway debut, so
Yes.
I'm not in the position to be being offered roles. Like, I auditioned for it. It came through my agency's office, and Natasha was actually always played by a woman of color, because Philippa did it when it was off Broadway, and she was busy with Hamilton when they were moving it to ART, and so they opened up auditions. And I remember getting it through my email and seeing and hearing the song No One Else and really connecting to it, and I just felt like my essence understood Natasha in a very real way. And I had the fear, and I called my manager. I was like, are you sure they're not looking for like a pretty white soprano? And but I felt like I could do it really well. And I went to the audition, and there was me, there were Asian women, there were Hispanic women. Because for me, it's less about the fact that Natasha is Russian. And everyone here talked about these great roles, right? And it's like every actor, actress wants to play a great role. And Natasha is one of those. And the archetype that she represents of innocence and beauty and light and this coming of age, she's the every girl. And to me, every girl should have access to playing the every girl, because I'm not the first person to discover that the images we see affect the world we live in. So on that level, it's exciting and thrilling to see the Black girls who come to see the show, and I see their eyes lighting up that this is possible. And then on the other hand, it's just a great part, and I'm happy that I get to do it.
And you mentioned young girls that might be inspired by this. What got you into the idea of pursuing Broadway? Did I hear about a Cinderella from the 90s?
Yeah, there were a couple things. I mean, I was always a dramatic kid.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. It was just like the magic of it all. It felt like I had a crush on that, you know? But yeah, the Brandy Whitney Cinderella, when I was like, it was the 90s, I was like 7, I was like little, and I watched it over and over and over again, and I was obsessed. It was like Whoopi was the mom, Victor Garber was the dad, and it was fairy tales, so who cares, right? And so yeah, that was very inspiring to me.
Now, is there anything else about Broadway as you know, your first time here that has taken you by surprise? I mean, you certainly were with this part for a while before, you've no shortage of experience with theater, but what is it about Broadway that, if you had to pinpoint one thing that you didn't expect, what would that be?
This is the hardest role I've ever done thus far, and you don't have time to recover, right? It's like you finish the show and you're just sort of this empty sponge, but then like the rest of your life is waiting for you to be a human, and it's, for me, it's just not there. Right. So this show gets the best part of myself that I have to give right now, and so there is actually another actor, someone put me in contact with Leslie Odom Jr., and I talked to him, and he was like, don't put pressure on yourself to feel normal right now. And once I kind of stopped doing that, it was helpful. But it was challenging, and everyone's like, is this amazing? It is a dream. You're like, yes, but I kind of feel like I'm dying, but I'm happy, I think. You know? So it's
so they always say, like, are you having fun?
I know. I had to tell my dad, stop asking that.
Fun is a relative word. Fun, I'm sure that's somewhere in the mix, but that wouldn't be the first word.
Exactly.